Hello and welcome. If you're watching live or delayed, thank you for tuning in, and a very big thank you for LB24 TV who are hosting this live feed here this evening. For the past decade, English karate has been in a dark place. 2017 sees a ray of light. Karate has been accepted into the Olympics for Tokyo 2020. England has a newly crowned world champion, and the richest prize in traditional karate history returns to London. As you are aware, this is the official announcement of the 2017 10K Karate Clash. 32 elite, one night only, 10K winner takes all. All promoted by Fighters Inc., myself, Joe Long, and former world champion Paul Alderson. The 2017 10K Karate Clash will be held at London's award-winning Troxy in East London on Easter Bank Holiday Sunday, the 16th of April, 2017. I would like specifically to take this opportunity to thank English and British coach on my right, Willie Thomas, for working with Fighters Inc. to nail down the exact date so it fits in with the English karate calendar for next year. Much appreciated, Willie. Really do appreciate it. I'm delighted that the event will be hosted by two very good friends of mine, and you've probably got to know them over the past few months with the Combat and Strength podcast. To my left, very well-respected sports journalist Joel Campbell, and to my right, YouTube sensation and martial artist Master Wong. Thanks for joining us tonight, guys. No problem. Joel Campbell and Master Wong will be hosting the 10K Karate Clash, and we will also be celebrating 20 years of Fighters Inc. in the industry on the evening. And we'll be joined by some very special guests on the 16th of April. This fast-paced event will showcase the very best sports karate has to offer, with a stellar lineup of English, British, European and world champions competing for the winner-takes-all prize of £10,000. Tickets are now available from combatandstrength.com, thetroxy.co.uk and eventim.co.uk also, with tickets ranging from the standard ticket of £35 and only £15 for children from the ages of 10 to 16 years inclusive, up to the VIP mat-side tables from £700 a table of 10. It's a new and fresh era for karate, for sport karate, and I'd like to take this opportunity to thank each and every athlete who's reached out to myself and Paul in the lead up to the announcement of this event. We've been overwhelmed with the response, and it's great to be back with such an interesting event and interesting athletes which are going to be competing. Once again, thank you, and I'm going to hand over to my host, Joel Campbell, for this evening's procedures.
Thank you very much, Joe. If you're listening at home or wherever you are in the world, thanks for tuning in to the Combat and Strength podcast team with special guests this evening, or I say this evening, it could be first thing in the day wherever you are. Willie Thomas, how you doing, sir?
I'm good.
Willie, England and Team GB coach. Can I say that? Can I say Team GB coach?
Not quite official yet.
Not quite officially.
The British Karate Federation coach, yeah.
Okay. You must be looking forward to this 10K Karate Clash more than most. Tell me a little bit about your memories of 10K, because there's only been 4 and the last one was over a decade ago.
I've got fond memories, never having fought on it. So I actually retired just before they started, which allowed me the privilege of watching and enjoying every single one of them. And watching these guys go out there fighting for that great prize, that 10K, old friends, old foes, and looking at just the talent, and now moving forward, now the rebirth of it, it's exciting times for karate.
Now, Joe mentioned the fact that he had to coordinate the timing of and scheduling of this tournament to fit in with all of the things that are going to be happening in 2017. What with karate being given its Olympic status, I can imagine it's a busy time. Tell me about scheduling events like this moving forward.
Yeah, we've got to be careful, when they do it, and you obviously want the best fighters there, at their best. So to showcase the best fighters being the most flamboyant, being the most courageous, and literally displaying, the great art. So the best time to do that is a month before the European Championships, which will be in May, where, the best fighters are going to be in shape. So they're going to be ready to rock and roll and actually put on a show. So they're going to be taking it very seriously. It's not just about the 10,000. It's about putting in that performance. And they know that if they go to this event and put in that performance, then they're going to have a good chance of getting the money.
Huge opportunities. On your right-hand side, I've got Master Wong, who presents the Combat and Strength podcast with myself and Joe Long. He's going to be hosting with me on the night. He's intimated he'd like to get involved one day, but the disciplines are slightly different. Wong, I know you've got a question or two for Willie.
So how's the event will happen? Do you?
What, the 10K?
Yeah.
What we're looking for? Well, we've got some great fighters lined up to do it. And, what we're going to find out on that day is what happens when the unstoppable meets the immovable. Right? We don't know what's going to happen, but we're going to find out on that day.
Will be interesting, yeah?
Yeah.
Okay.
32 fighters, one night of action. It's going to be some night.
It's going to be the line.
What can the fighters the fighter who emerges victorious, what can he hope from you, Willie? Would that be a fast track onto the England team?
Hopefully I've spotted him already.
Oh, well, I was going to get to that question next.
And that I haven't missed him.
Right.
If it's somebody new, then fantastic. We've found a new talent.
Right.
And we've found their motivations. And if it's somebody who's performing like they should do, and they're already on the national squad, and looking forward, it's a great performance indicator moving forward to the European Championships. I know some of them, you've got some youngsters in there, under 21s. They've got an under 21 World Championship this year as well. But there's also the Karate 1, WKF Karate 1 events that go out through the year, where the senior athletes are going to be looking at improving their ranking points. So this event here is very much on the calendar.
Pivotal. You're obviously going to be a little bit biased, Willie, because we know your son's taking part in the competition. He's the man at the moment right now. Yeah. Tell me about how well you expect him to do. We're a way off. Obviously, Joe said that the competition is taking place on April the 16th. Go and get your tickets for those who haven't got them already. And I know they've only been on sale for a couple of minutes, but I'm expecting the lines to be jammed. Can you really go in there and be neutral?
Absolutely. I'm going to lay my cards on the table now. We're going to the 10K, and I want my son to win. That is it. And if I'm coaching him, I want him to give his best. I want him to be at his best, and that's going to be our main focus. Right. Because we know that at his best, he can win anything, and we've proved that more than once. So that's really the gauntlet that we're laying down. Anybody out there wishing for him to have a bad day, that is unstable and unlikely. So they're going to have to bring their game. So I'm absolutely biased, but I do believe that he has the skills and the capabilities to win it as well. But it's not going to be without his challenges, of course. And that's what we're going to go there expecting. We're going to meet that challenge.
Joe, why did you bring this tournament back after so long? What was the motivation?
The motivation was really seeing the landscape of karate change in the last year or so, last couple of years, and we've been watching it from afar and observing stuff.
We as in Fighters Inc.
As in Fighters Inc. Myself and Paul Alderson.
Yeah.
And we've been observing it from afar, and we just felt that now is the right time to come back on the scene and give karate what I believe it needs. We had the Seni event at the O2. And
for those who don't know, Seni is the biggest combat and strength expo in Europe. Yeah. And
we was at the O2, and there was two former fighters there. One being Paul Newby, and the other one being Matt Price.
Right.
And they come to an after party on the Saturday night. And one of the main fighters on the Saturday night for Bellator was Michael Venom Page.
Wow.
And Michael Venom Page had fought in the 10K previously.
Oh, I didn't.
Before he crossed over to MMA.
Right.
And it was quite surreal that we were speaking about how Michael has done so well and he's now on a world stage with MMA, with Bellator. We had the event that weekend and Paul and Matt was like, you've got to come back with this event. And it kind of stuck with me, if I'm honest. It stuck with me. I spoke to Paul and within a couple of months, I think we'd made the decision that, yeah, we're going to come back next year. And we put it out there and the response, as I said earlier, has been phenomenal.
Yeah, that was my next question really. How was the fighter feedback been and how quickly, I mean, if you have already filled those 32 spots? The
32 spots are literally filled.
Right.
There's just a little bit of tweaking to do, of
course,
and political movement to do. We'll be announcing the full 32 competitors probably by the end of January.
Okay.
But they all know who they are, and no doubt some of them are training, as we speak.
You've obviously witnessed what it takes to win in the 4 tournaments that have happened.
For sure.
Talk to me a little bit about the makeup of a fighter on the night and the type of victories that you've seen previously.
Well, I think that the victories we've seen with Wayne Otto in year 1, Leon Walters in year 2, Alexander Guranov, who was our first international winner, and then Jason Legister. Each of them individuals brought something different to the table.
Right.
Wayne brought experience and the need to win. Leon Walters had got to the final the year before, so he'd brought hunger from the year before. I think that actually switched a switch on Leon to make him come back even stronger the second year.
Yeah.
Alexander Guranov had fought Leon internationally at the World Championships, and to be fair, £10,000 was even more money to him from where he's from in Russia. And it was like win at all costs. It was life-changing money for Alexander Guranov. And Jason Legister was just pure mental as far as I was concerned. Jason was in such a mental zone and in a mental state, and knew that he was going to win it. He didn't bite, he didn't react, he just done what he had to do. So they all brought something different to the table. But what all of them 4 athletes have is, a strong mental. And, to win the 10K, upstairs you've got to be fully switched on.
And can I also add, those names, all of them, world champions.
Every one of them.
World champion. That's all I'm saying.
So the quality is high, the standard is high.
Well,
the standard is high.
There's been world champions off the back of the 10K, and obviously before the 10K with Wayne. And there's been people who have got to the final or the semi-finals and then gone on to become a world champion. Rory Daniels, one example. So, yeah, the stakes are high, but I believe that the key ingredient to that night is being mentally prepared.
Well, we're going to be hosting this, you and I. You're a man who's a martial arts expert. Talk to me about the mental strength that's needed on that type.
I reckon
that type
it's tough. Everyone there, the world champion you mentioned, they're all tough. They have the right mindset. I reckon we have a good, fun night that night.
Have you ever entered a tournament like that?
Not like that. No.
So it's going to be a first for all of us.
It's a first for all of us. Yeah, first for me too. So I think I'm going to love it.
Joe, you've got a documentary coming, which highlights. Is it the 10K journey? I mean, talk to us about the documentary.
The documentary, we release our first episode in December.
Right.
And it's basically the road to the 10K Karate Clash. So we're going to be touching on various athletes, various clubs, various families involved in karate, and talking to them about, how they want to get to the 10K. It's the road to the 10K. So when we last done the event, was 10, 11 years ago. We didn't have the luxury of Facebook, Twitter,
technology,
YouTube, technology.
Live broadcasts.
I was putting stamps on envelopes and sending out flyers and tickets, So it's changed a lot. Promotion's changed a lot. And we're just trying to keep up with the game and move forward, because I believe the audience which we're now catering for has changed. Even though when we look at the people watching our stuff, there's a lot of people from before, which is again overwhelming. When they sort of pick up the phone and say, I come to the first one, and which was 14 years ago, and can we book a table for next year? That says something.
It does indeed. It does indeed. Why hasn't the money gone up?
Why isn't the money gone up?
The prize money.
Because the brand stayed the same.
Right.
The brand stayed the same, but that doesn't mean there's not movement in the future for other projects.
Willie, why is this the biggest prize on offer in karate? What's happened to the sport?
Well, karate, martial arts has generally always been an amateur sport. It's always been high participation, but low profile in terms of mainstream media. And everybody knows somebody who does martial arts or used to do martial arts, or so there's over 1 million people doing all the different martial arts in the UK. At least a million. At least. So therefore, because it doesn't have that mainstream publicity, therefore the sponsorship and the financial support doesn't go with that.
Right.
So events like this is why it is so fiercely contested. Because this 10K for an amateur athlete, for the year will pay for travel, hotel, training, and just give them that breathing space that they need to be able to forget about any financial issues. They can actually train and focus on what they love doing. So you've got a percentage of those athletes that are fighting for that. And what's going to be interesting about this championships, and just from me chatting to different athletes, is the individual motivations as to why they're here. Some of it is the money. Right. Some of it is young families. Some of it is to fund their sport. And they're all strong motivators. They're all strong motivators, and this is why it's going to be a really, really great tournament, and it's not going to be a given. Whoever wins that is truly the daddy.
Will deserve it, as they say. Tell me about moving forward over the next couple of years, Willie, because I'm interested to understand how the sport, in your opinion, is going to evolve and take shape given the Olympic status, given Japan as the target. I know there's a reduced number of athletes that can actually get to fly the flag for Great Britain once they're there. But tell me about how that process is going to work from your perspective.
Well, firstly, each athlete is going to have to go through an external qualifier, so they're no longer going to have to beat each other to get selected to compete for Great Britain. They're going to have to go out, onto the world stage and qualify at qualifying events. The reality is that we would be looking at 2, maybe 3 athletes maximum would probably make that qualification. Yeah. So the actual individuals that will make that Olympic status is quite small. However, what it does do, the dream reaches far, far further than that.
Of course. In
terms of the 6 and 7-year-old at the club, because of that Olympic status. Yeah. They've now got that Olympic dream. So it's inspired the whole of the UK to up their game and just to follow that dream, because for any athlete, it starts with the dream. It starts with the dream, and this Olympic status has now really blown that into like a fire now for everybody to chase. So it's a massive impact for British karate.
I was going to say, are you ready for the numbers, the take up that's going to come as a result of, because I know the sport is there's huge participation at grassroots level, as we know, but it's probably going to double, triple.
Yeah, I mean that's going to be down to the governing bodies. That when that influx, does happen, when it does get announced, and I think that December, UK Sport, the British Olympic Association, they're going to be announcing who they're funding, who they're supporting, and if karate is in that, then that's when you're going to get this massive insurge of interest. So that's when the governing bodies are going to have to then have a system and a structure and a participation program in place in order to cope with that, and have a system that not only talent IDs young athletes, but develops them all the way through. And once they develop them, take them through into elite and then hopefully podium. So it's going to be down to the NGBs to put that in place.
Joe, before we wrap up, because I know we've got some other guests that are coming in to talk about the 10K Karate Clash.
Sure.
Is there? I know it's difficult to organise events like this, but is there scope to take this global?
There is, and there's scope to bring more internationals into the fold.
Right.
What we, when we first decided to come back with this event, we decided that there'd be one international in each group of 8. We could invite more.
Right.
But really, it's an English event. Without sounding biased, we would like the money to stay in England. And for now, and for the next 2 to 3 events at least, we would only go for a maximum of 4 international competitors,
right.
1 in each group.
So maybe hold it more than once a year?
Possibly, that's a strong possibility.
Right.
In fact, that is one of the things what Leon Walters has been pushing me to do. But we'll see how the feedback is from this one. So far it's been amazing. I think it's going to be an amazing night. And then we'll take it from there, one step at a time. But yeah, potentially we've got the base of athletes now, which we didn't have, the last 4, 6, 8, 10 years ago. There wasn't the depth in athletes. We've now got the depth, and we'll see how they perform on this stage. I mean, we could have the night and all the athletes could turn up there and compete to a real bad standard. I can't see that happening. I think it's the lineup which we've got in place. There's some great names there, on your list. Some of the guys are here this evening.
That's right. We'll be talking to them in a minute.
Who you're going to be talking to. But the list is very exciting, and there's older, there's younger, there's experienced, there's guys what have come back.
There's national coaches.
And there's national coaches' sons. So, but yeah, it's an exciting lineup, and it wouldn't be the 10K if we didn't throw the odd curveball in there.
Yeah, of course.
We've got the odd joker, if you like, which we're going to throw down, or the odd wild card, should I say?
Got a few surprises.
Yeah, we've got a few surprises up our sleeve. So, but they'll all be in the right position to compete for the event.
Okay. Well, that brings us to the close of the first part of this live broadcast, this live announcement. What's the name of the documentary, Joe? I want to cut to the documentary if we could.
Well, the name of the documentary is The Road to the 10K Karate Clash. I believe we're just going to run a short promo now.
Okay.
Before we bring in the other guys.
Well, let's go over to our technical team.
When the new 10K starts, when we get this new 10K, I don't actually think there's anything I could say to help them prepare. There's no place, there's no tournament that you can go to help you prepare for this. Prepare to be amazed.
I remember feeling happy about the money side of it, and the prospect of possibly being able to go and win it again the following year.
Listen, fighting is fighting, and when you're done, then you're friends. It's all right. When you're fighting,
the 10K Karate Clash, nothing had been seen like it. It set the traditional world alight.
It's like going back to how it used to be in the British Championship. You only had one winner. There was no categories, and it's proved it's not always a heavyweight that wins it.
I just remember after he's won, so him winning, someone told me that he won, and I remember him shedding some tears. And I asked, why is Dad crying? And he said, no, it's okay, they're happy tears.
But to be on a stage and in that arena with my crowd and their crowd, it's just that's what attracts me to the 10K.
Funny enough, in one of the 10Ks, I met Rory Daniels. I think it was in the quarters, and he got to the final, just lost out. On doing that, he got picked for the Worlds on that performance, and that year, me and Rory Daniels won the world title.
Every other performance, whether that was World, Europeans, Commonwealth, was all about trying to replicate the performance at the 10K.
Jason Legistar, he's one of my role models as well, and to see him win the 10K, it kind of gave me motivation that a good smaller man beat a good big man.
I'm not Leon. I'm different because of one A, and I'm going to show to everyone that, yeah, I'm not Leon, but I can do my thing.
It's ironic that my own son will be pegged to be fighting in this event, you know, and well, the roles will be reversed. You know, I'll be sitting in the audience, closing my eyes and not watching the fight. You know, and he'll be out there performing, and nothing is going to prepare him to be that focal point. I actually believe that he can win. He can win it, and if he does, great. Split it 50-50.
Welcome back to the official announcement for the 10K Karate Clash taking place next year on Easter Sunday. That's April the 16th, for those who don't have a calendar. I'm joined in the studio with some of the competitors, some of the men of steel that are going to be battling it out for the £10,000 prize. On my right, we've got Jordan Thomas. He's joined by Ryan Lambert. And on my left, we've got Joe Kellaway. And on the end, we've got a very good-looking gentleman by the name of Alton Brown.
Yes.
How you doing, sir?
I'm really good, thanks.
I thought I'd leave you on the end because you're the veteran on this table.
Yeah.
A guy who, quite recently, actually, has cleaned out a few young guns to progress quite well in the world. Is that correct?
Yeah. That's kind of... I've done 3 10Ks in the past, and I've done quite well in each of them, particularly in 2 of them. And looking forward to going again, really. Can't wait to go again.
How worried should the young guns be about you, Alton?
They should definitely be worried.
Why is that?
Because I'm always surprising. I'm always surprising people. Should definitely be worried.
Tell me what's so grand and what's the attraction is with the 10K Karate Clash, as a man who knows the history.
For me, I think 10 grand, all of those guys trying to fight for that one prize on the night is something that you never see in our sport, apart from the 10K. And I've been trying to win it for quite a long time now, you know.
Right.
Like I said, I've been in it for quite a few years, and I'm just really looking forward to going out there, doing it, and finally coming away with the prize that I've been looking for all these years.
Joe, Sugarfoot, right?
Yeah, Sugarfoot.
I'm going to ask you why they call you that in a minute. Current international and English openweight champion. Apparently you're full of hunger and determination.
I'm a hungry boy.
Is that right? Yeah? 6 meals a day?
Yeah.
Tell me what part of the 10K tournament you're looking forward to most?
Just being a part of like a historic event. Like, it hasn't happened in ages. And then just so hungry to be there. It'd be an honour. Just an honour to be on that mat fighting.
You heard what Alton next to you had to say. He's looking to clean it all out and take the prize, take the winnings. What do you think is going to be the most difficult, considering it's not the usual format of tournament, what do you think is going to be the most difficult aspect of the 10K Karate Championship for you?
The most difficult part, I think, is money. It's different. It's not a title. Well, it's a title, but it's money. Like, people can be more hungry for money. And once money's on the table, people are going to fight different. There's going to be rivalries. I think new rivalries between people. It's just exciting. Just can't wait.
Ryan, how are you, sir?
Very well, thank you.
How's the training going? Because I heard you started already.
Yeah, no, very well. Very, very well. As always.
What are you looking forward to most about 10K?
Like Joe said, just being part of it. I mean, it's something I grew up watching. Grew up, like, I used to study the videos. It's something that I always wanted to be part of, and then it disappeared for ages. It's come back again now, and to be part of it is just... It's going to be an amazing experience.
Is the money a factor?
The money is a factor, but I would want to win this even if there was no money.
Right.
This is something I'm hungry, like Joe said, hungry to be a part of. Very, very.
And is that because the kudos that comes with winning a tournament like this is, something you can dine out for at least another year?
Yeah, of course. Yeah, that as well as the how big the event is. It's a huge event, and it's just something I cannot wait to be a part of.
Is there anything else like this that you've been a part of, or is this like that unique in the sense that, I don't really see too many tournaments offering the type of money firstly, and then all 32 fighters having to sort it out all in one night?
Yeah, it's very, very unique. It's very different. I've never been a part of anything quite like this before. I mean, I've had a few things with little bits of prize money, but nothing like this. This is one of a kind. I cannot wait for it.
On your right is a man who needs no real mention. We recently covered him on the back page of the Voice newspaper. Congratulations once again, world champ.
Thank you.
Tell me a little bit about the 10K karate tournament that we haven't spoken about already.
10K, it's in its name. £10,000. £10,000. Everybody's hungry. Everybody's hungry. Depends who's hungrier. You know, I'm going in there taking it one by one. I am thinking about the 10,000 yet. So it's one by one and point by point. That's the way I'm going to take it.
The target's really on your back, isn't it?
Yeah, I created that for myself. And that's the pressure I've got to deal with. And I know that. And I'm going to have two types of people. You know, I'm going to have people who are just going to really come and take it to me. And then I'm going to have people who are just going to try and nick it. And I'm just going to have to be up for both types of fighters. And I'm going to deal with every aspect.
Joe, you've heard both fighters on my right-hand side talk about being hungry. You talk about being hungry as well. Yeah. Everyone's hungry. Yeah. You know, is it the man who's absolutely starving that's going to win this, or is it the man that comes with his head on and his A game?
I think it's everything. You've got to be smart. Karate's a smart game now. Everyone now can kick and punch at the same level. It's just who does it the best on the day and who's smart. Just creative. Who's the creative one? Who puts it on the line? And I think that's what it is, putting it on the line.
What's been the reason for the uplifting of standards over the last few years from your point of view?
Main reason, I think maybe the Olympics might have uplifted everyone, maybe realised, wow, it's an Olympic sport now. Like, people coming out of the woodwork and people want to have a taste now. And like, it's my job now to stop people from coming up. I mean, you've got to try and take me out, but it's not going to happen.
You hear that, right?
Alton.
Before it gets a bit too heated on the table, I want to know from your point of view why, as a man, as a veteran, why there hasn't been another. Why does it take over a decade for this to come back, and why hasn't there been another tournament like this?
I think so many people have tried to put on an event similar to the 10K, but nobody's really been able to achieve it.
Right.
I think the experience that obviously Joe and his team have created over the years, when we did have the 10K around, I think it was such a kind of a formidable experience that people remember. People want that event back. Right. They don't want a lesser event. They don't want an event that's for half the money. They don't want an event that's got an array of fighters that aren't of the standard competing. People want the top cream of the crop athletes from our national team and from other national teams from abroad, competing on kind of home ground, really, for the prize. I'm just happy that it's back. It's needed, and you know, I said in my interview that I had a few weeks back, just in terms of the performance that I put in at the 10K and the performances that I know a lot of other fighters put in at the 10K, it was always and has always been one of those pinnacle moments, you know.
Right.
Everyone's always trying to recreate a 10K performance throughout the rest of our careers.
So the level's just high on the
level's
mat.
just high. The level's high, the pressure's high, the stress is on. You've got your home crowd there as well, for those of us like for myself that are East London based. And but you deal with it, you know. You deal with it, and people either react, they either shrink in those moments, you know, when the pyrotechnics come out, or you kind of you do what you've been training to do, really.
Well, they rise.
Yeah.
I guess I'd like to know from your point of view as well, how do you prepare for a tournament like that? Or do you do anything different, or do you keep it the same?
I keep it the same, to be honest. For me personally, when I work towards my peaks, whether that's European Championships or World Championships or 10Ks, my focus is the same. It's always about, for me, producing the best performance that I can bring on that night, regardless of whether that's, like I said, the Europeans or the Worlds or the 10K. It's all about the right preparation, more so mentally than it is physically, I think, for me.
Right.
Definitely. I remember Jason Legister's interview that he did around the 10K, and him mentioning that when he won, he wasn't particularly on top form, so he knew he had to be clever. And kind of similar for me, really, from what I remember from one of my past experience of being in the 10K, You know, there are times, and it happens in fighters' careers, where you are not necessarily at your physical peak, but you know, on that night, you've managed to dig deep psychologically and really bring something else to the table.
Right, Ryan, how are you going to prepare for this? So have you got anything special in mind, or are you just going to keep doing what you normally do?
I just keep doing what I normally do. I mean, every competition you've got to go into with the same mentality. You've just got to get the best out of yourself. Whether it's this, whether it's a small open competition, whether it's an international, you've got to get the best out of yourself no matter who you're fighting, no matter where you're fighting, and no matter what the stakes are. Everything's got to be the same.
Jordan, you going to have a lot of fans in the place?
Luton's coming, man. Luton is coming. I tell you that.
How important is it to have that kind of support behind you at an event like this?
No, it's nice to have that backing, and it's like the home crowd. You're going to need that backing on the night, you know, to lift you, to make the place electric, and it'd be nice performing not only for me, but for them also.
Joe, how does this fit in for you in terms of the bigger picture? Because obviously karate's got Olympic status now. We've all identified that that's made everybody a lot hungrier, focused people's mindsets. How does it fit into your bigger picture? Because no doubt you want to be a part of that Olympic team that goes out to Japan in 2020. So how does this fit in?
It fits in. It's just another. I treat it as another event, another fight. It's a challenge, another challenge, just like a K1 or a World or European Championships. It's another event, and it's just a build up towards that goal that I want, and that's to be Olympian.
I guess you think, do you see yourself on that plane in 4 years' time? I know everything can happen, anything can happen, injuries and all the rest of it. But
no,
do you see? I mean, where are you in terms of your development? Because we know there's only going to be a few spaces. So where are you in terms of your development that makes you confident about making that play?
Right. So I'm in my going into my third year of senior, and I'm just above 100 in ranking wise. But next year I want to be in top 50, and I'm just going to work my way up. I'm taking out the best. That's it. That's my job, taking out the best.
But like Jordan?
Yeah. If he's in my way, then you've got to take him out. That's my job. And then, like his job's to take me out, my job's going to take him out. That's it. And if whoever wants it on the end of the day, it's going to take it. Yeah.
Who's going to sell the most tickets on this table?
Of course.
I know the promoter is sitting in the background there. He's happy with that response. And for those that are watching at home, as I said, tickets are available now. So, you know, go and get some, because I think, what's the capacity in there? I think it's a couple of thousand. A couple of thousand it's not a regular thing, is it?
No.
Really, performing in Formula.
Definitely not.
Has anybody fought at a Troxy before?
No.
So it's a
No,
new
as a venue, though. No, as a venue.
It's a new venue for everybody. How much does that play into it, Alton? A new venue. Is that, that means it's kind of a level playing field for everybody if no one's been there before.
I don't know.
Does that matter?
I don't think it really matters, to be honest.
Right.
New venue,
A mat's
old
a mat.
venue, a mat's a mat, and a fist is a fist, right? I fought there last week. Yeah, but I mean, as a venue, I was born up the road, so
Right.
I know the venue. Been past it for years. Never been inside it, but I know of the venue. I know of the stature of it, and again, it's just nice to have another East London venue. I'm an East London boy, and you know how it is. These guys were saying home crowds. It's always nice to have a home crowd, you know, screaming your name on the night. I'm looking forward to it.
Ryan, what's your 2017 look like aside from the 10K karate clash?
Preparing for it, just getting myself ready from the start of the year, well, from now until then, just getting myself ready in every way I can.
It's Christmas soon, though. Are you not gonna indulge? Are you guys gonna claim to be monks and not have a glass of champagne? I mean, what's the deal here? How do you navigate that time of the year?
We'll all still be training, especially when there's 10 grand on the line down the line.
Very true. Very true.
That'll be in the back of our minds at Christmas.
So you can take a holiday on April the 17th. The day
that's
after.
it. Yeah, May.
Right, okay. I mean, I guess one of the things just to be a little bit more serious, because the 10K is an exciting competition, an exciting tournament. Everyone's looking forward to it, but karate's gone through it in the last few years, hasn't it? Really, it's not really been taken as seriously as it should have been. I think the Olympic status, as like I said, has focused everybody's mind. Why do you think it's been like that?
I just feel it hasn't had the opportunity it deserves.
Right.
I think we deserve this. Like, I mean, we've been putting, like Jordan, me, Alton, Ryan, we've been putting in the work to get where we are today. And like, we just deserve something like this. We need promotion. We need help to get us out there. And it's just nice. Like I was speaking to the national squad coach outside, and it's just like a rebirth of karate.
Right.
Just feels good. Something feels good about these few years coming up.
It's exposure like this.
I was going to say, do you see it as a rebirth?
Yeah.
I think that's a great term.
It's exposure like this, what, you know, puts karate back on the platform. Exposes the sport. You know, some people don't even realise how fast we are. You know, we can kick like taekwondo. Yeah, we can throw like judo. You know, we are an exciting sport, and it's a platform like this. We can get it out to everybody. The 10K is a platform where it can just put it out to everyone.
Does it help or hinder that you're friends?
Like I say, we're not friends on the mat.
No.
We're not friends on the mat. You know, respect is a different thing. Respect is a different thing. Yeah, we're not friends on the mat. We leave that until after. And I was just about to say before, but
So in the run up, yeah, it's fair enough. It's a lot of money.
I'll say I love these guys, but I don't trust any of them.
So, and do you see that as your money? Is that?
It's not even that I see it as my money, really. It's like unfinished business. That's what it is.
Okay.
Like
you've got an axe to grind, haven't you?
Yeah, Ryan was saying money aside. It is money aside, to be honest. The money would help. And my wife is at home now, just counting it. You know? The money
doesn't spend it.
Yeah. Extra pressure. 2 kids, you know. It's,
yes.
But yeah, money aside, I think, yeah, I've got an axe to grind, like you said. You know, I've got unfinished business. And again, I think for me personally, the way I put in great performances is when I just focus on producing my best. Do you know what I mean? Forget everything else. I'm trying to hit a peak with everything I do, like Jordan was saying, round by round, point by point. That's the goal, that's the focus. Focus on that, and hopefully 10K takes care of itself.
Joe, the tournament's produced some world champions. I think the 4 winners have either been world champion or gone on to win it. Yeah, that must bode well. In terms of a young, hungry fighter like yourself, you must look at that and think, yeah, this is definitely the way to go.
Yeah, I think this will set a standard for myself as well to see where I am at. Like if I'm going to win it, then I can do it anywhere. I think that's the thing. No, you can do it anywhere. It's just who gets it right on the day, which hopefully will be me. I mean, that's it. Just going to do it on the day.
Okay. Well, guys, I mean, is there any last words that you want to?
I'd say, like, just in terms of, and I'm sure we'll all do it, but in terms of what we do and what we produce come the 10K, it's going to be a massive inspiration for all of those other young fighters that are out there, isn't it? Massive, because for, you know, the Leons, the Waynes, when they were doing it, we were all in the audience looking up, like you were saying, you watch videos, looking up and thinking, you know, when Wayne won the 10K, for example, it felt like everybody had won the 10K. You know, we won the 10K.
I remember watching you in the final from the stands from a kid. Yeah, and now, I'm shedding blood with you in the team. So to be on that platform with all the ex-greats, you know, it's gonna feel good, man. It's gonna feel good.
Would you like to see it happen more than once a year?
100%. 100%. You know, it's got to happen. It's got to happen.
Definitely.
Well, I hope it does. Thanks for your time, gentlemen.
Nice one.
It's been good to talk. And for those at home who are watching, listening, if you pick it up after the live feed or a delayed feed or whatever it is, make sure you tune in to the 10K combat, 10K karate clash next year. I'm getting mixed up with the Combat and Strength podcast, which is what I'm normally doing. Thanks for your support. Thanks for watching. Thanks for listening. I'm not sure if we're going to run the promotional video again. Yes, we are. I've been given that nod. So again, tickets are available now. Just on behalf of Combat and Strength, thanks to all the fighters for joining me. We'll see you soon.
The new 10K starts. When we get this new 10K, I don't actually think there's anything I could say to help them prepare. There's no place, there's no tournament that you can go to help you prepare for this. Prepare to be amazed.
I remember like feeling happy about the money side of it. and you know the prospect of possibly being able to go and win it again the following year.
Listen, fighting is fighting, and when you're done, then you're friends. It's all right. But when you're fighting,
The 10K karate clash, nothing had been seen like it. It set the traditional world alight.
It's like going back to how it used to be in the British Championship. You only had one winner. There was no categories, and it's proved it's not always a heavyweight that wins it.
I just remember after he's won, so him winning, someone told me that he won, and I remember him, shedding some tears. And I asked, why is Dad crying? And he said, no, it's okay, they're happy tears.
But to be on a stage and in that arena with my crowd and their crowd, it's just that's what attracts me to the 10K.
Funny enough, in one of the 10Ks, I met Rory Daniels. I think he was in the quarters, and he got to the final, just lost out. On doing that, he got picked for the Worlds on that performance, and that year, me and Rory Daniels won the world title.
every other performance, whether that was World, Europeans, Commonwealth, was all about trying to replicate the performance at the 10K.
Jason Legistar, he's one of my role models as well, and to see him win the 10K, it kind of gave me motivation that a good smaller man beat a good bigger man.
I'm not Leon, I'm different. Leon's a 1A, and I'm going to show to everyone that, yeah, I'm not Leon, but I can do my thing.
It's ironic that my own son will be pegged to be fighting in this event, you know, and well, the roles will be reversed, you know. I'll be sitting in the audience, closing my eyes and not watching the fight, you know, and he'll be out there performing, and nothing is going to prepare him to be that focal point. I actually believe that he can win. He can win it, and if he does, great. Split it 50-50.